Hello, everyone. How are you? It is Rebecca. Hi, the Reseller Mom Show. I'm sorry, I scheduled a live like I have done previously, but for some reason I couldn't get to it. And so that's what was taking me so long. So I apologize that I'm 5 minutes late. I was here and I just had some serious trouble. And I was just going to post on my stories that I'm going live, but as usual, I'm technologically challenged, having a problem live on YouTube. Like everything was just not working for me today. So I hope everyone is well. I'm going to literally just chit chat for a minute. I don't want to waste your time. I definitely want to get to it. I've got some errands to run today while my mom is here keeping an eye on Geo. So I definitely, hi, the people coming in. Hi. Doing my makeup for work. Nice. So yes, I've got some news, and I don't mean to be like dramatic about it, but at the same time, I work from home by myself doing this. There's not really a lot of drama or fun and excitement. So sometimes it's nice to be like, I have announcements. So I do want to pull up my notes because I don't want to forget anything. And I just will, like I said, we'll just give it a minute. Yes, go ahead and give me some likes if you can while you're coming in, like this video, or maybe you want to wait for the news. I don't know. It's up to you, but just make sure you do it so that way YouTube knows that in general, I make good content. Whether or not you think this particular one is one of those, I don't know. But I do think it's important to change things up from time to time. I do think it's important to keep things interesting for yourself. I get bored pretty easy. I don't want to say I have like shiny something syndrome, but I definitely have shiny business syndrome. Like I've yet to get to the point where I feel settled in my business to where like I'm 100% happy with everything that is going on. I don't feel like anything needs to be in flux. I constantly feel like I need to make improvements and changes to get me to that place of contentment. Though one might argue that I may never get there. We'll go ahead and I was hoping to at least get 10. We've got 9. I'll just go ahead and get started because I do want to be mindful of everyone's time today. So thank you for joining me, of course, and thank you always for watching. If you have not subscribed to this channel, please do. That I suspect the people that are here are those that are subscribed. So I thank you very much for that. So it's an exciting time. Yesterday, if you're not following me on Instagram, not yesterday. Yesterday I ended the contest. Or the giveaway. But a couple of days before that, I hit my 10,000 followers on Instagram at the Reseller Mom Show on Instagram. I was very excited. You know, obviously it's a huge like Instagram milestone, rite of passage to be able to get the swipe up. And I had joked a while before that. I was like, I don't even know what I'm going to put the swipe up, but I just want it. So now I have it. So I'm able to put links to the YouTube videos nice and easy, links to things in the Etsy shop for my reseller tools, which is nice to be able to promote those things from time to time. I try not to do it too much. And so that was a big, exciting milestone. Also coming up is another milestone, which is on February 14th, Valentine's Day, will be my 1 year on YouTube with the channel. And that's very exciting. I'm already kind of thinking about some fun things I want to do. So please make sure you subscribe and follow me on Instagram so that way you kind of hear what things I've kind of come up with for that. So that's exciting. And so with those two things, I've just been thinking a lot about where I'm at with the business. And for a little while, I've been unhappy with Mom Roar Boutique. And if you don't know what that is, if you're new here, that is my brand. That is my Poshmark closet. That's my Mercari shop, store, closet, whatever. That's my eBay store. That's what I was on Kitizen when I was actively on there. That's where everything started. And when I came up with that brand, I was probably in a sleep deprived stupor because Gio was, right around 6 months old when I started selling his baby clothes. And that's how I got started in reselling. And so I came up with Mom Roar Boutique. I was a new mom. And, honestly, I have no idea where it came from. I wish I could say I had this amazing story of how I came up with the brand, but I think I was just in like a foggy haze of sleep deprivation and it just popped in. I was like, okay, good, let's do it. Bada bing, bada boom. And who the heck knows? So I stuck with that for quite some time. We're now in my basically like in June, it'll be 4 years of reselling. And I say that that's in reseller mom years. So not as far along as I'd like to be in that time frame, but when you're squeezing your reselling business into the pockets of time you get as being a full-time stay-at-home mom, you get what you get. So I've been not happy with that brand for a while because I don't really feel like after everything that I've learned over the past several years, it really represents the business anymore. I'm really not doing as many kids' clothes as I used to. I'm not doing maternity wear as much. And I am catering to all demographics, women, men, young girls, mature women. I carry a range of different brands. And so I really wanted something that didn't necessarily alienate anyone by the name. And people kept telling me, that I talked to about it, like no one really pays attention to the name. Like it's not like you're out there in some major way with this brand, with social media and doing all of this stuff. I'm not. But I think one of the reasons why I'm not pushing and driving traffic to my store is because it's not a brand that I'm proud of. And so the first announcement is that I have rebranded my store, my closet, my whatever, to something else. And so I just worked on it and transitioned everything over today. So I'll show it to you and then I'll share a little bit about it. But I do want to do a specific video just on rebranding. And I will share that with you because I definitely, as usual, have thoughts about that that I want to share. So let me pull it up on here because I don't know how to screen share when I'm live. That's just not something I've learned yet. So this is what it looks like now. So it used to be Mom Roar Boutique, and now it is on my rack. And hopefully that's not offensive to you. It's a little bit of a play on words, a little bit of, I don't know if it's a double on top. I don't know all the words, but on my rack. So on my clothing rack, on my everything rack. So I like the white and the black. I like the sleek. I like, that it's going to be an everything store. It's going to cater to everyone. I'm not going to necessarily, curate in any way at this point. But that's not to say that I won't in the future. And then on my rack will morph into whatever that curated thing becomes. But for right now, I'm not doing that. I just don't think that it will work for me. So I'm very excited about on my rack. It's going to be very difficult to remember to start saying that that's what it's called now. I've got a lot of work to do to kind of transition everything over, but that's why I want to do the video coming up to share a little bit about it, because I think some of the things that we put into our brand and some of the things that we get caught up in maybe isn't that important. And so I'm really experimenting with what does make a difference, what is helpful, what's going to continue to help me to sell items in my store and not get so worried about the cutesy of it. Because in my world, in my particular season, I don't have time to deal with that. Like, yes, I want the most amazing, perfect thing, but that's not the way life is right now. And so I just want to sell stuff. So let me go ahead and look here where we are, see what we've got, and then I will go over a couple points and then we'll get to the next announcement. My first store name was Sweet Pea Baby Clothes because I was selling my son's stuff. Yep, that's right. Guys, Grateful Queen is here. Check out her channel. She does fantastic stuff. We did an awesome collaboration. So go ahead and check out all of her helpful videos. She's awesome. On my rack, sweet. Do you like it? I mean, what do you guys think? Let me know what you think. Cute name. Okay. Thank you. Hey, what's the paper you use as your background? Yeah, that's the paper right here. There, I don't know if it's in this particular video yet, but in my Amazon store where I have my link. So it's like in my link tree on Instagram. And then usually in my videos, there's a link to my Amazon store and it's a particular photography paper and it comes on a giant roll and I'm looking at it back there. This is still the first roll that I undid and it's lasted a long time. I did a video on it as well. So check that out on my channel if you have questions. I think it's great. Good morning. Good to cover all possible buyers. Hey, Dwight. Yeah, I mean, Oh, liquidation. I saw your earlier note. Dwight, liquidating clothing is tough. Yeah. Okay, awesome. Yeah, so I think I was able to kind of check and see everything here. So yeah, if you have questions, put them in. I do want to try to like stay on topic again for the people that come to watch this later, which would imagine be more people than are here now. But I do appreciate those that are here now. And I was just really nervous about the rebranding because I was like, does it even make sense? And I'm actually really curious what you guys think. Do you think that the name of your store, especially on Poshmark, because that's really where I'm focused right now, do you think it makes sense? Like if you are a buyer also on Poshmark, which I'm not really, I pay attention to everybody's names. I'm interested by that, but I don't know if a buyer actually cares. And so if you have any questions about rebranding, about what I've done, put them here, and then I can either cover it a little bit here or in the video that I'm going to do where I kind of go through everything. But I'm just looking to see here. And I need to decide too if I'm going to, right now it's still Momro Boutique on eBay, but I'm not really doing much with eBay. And the other one is Mercari. And I may just, with Mercari, I'm not 100% sure yet. But for right now, I just was focusing on the branding of On My Rack on Poshmark. That's my main primary focus. And then building the social media around it, which is just going to take time. So I'm not going to just all of a sudden start jumping on it, but I have secured, I think, everything in that, username and handle, which I think is very important. And, we'll slowly start to figure out what it is that I'm going to do with it. And then I'll be sharing all of that because I feel like that's a good direction to go in, is to not solely rely on one platform and your reputation on a platform to build your business if you're viewing it as a business, and to really round out your brand and build out your brand. And that's what I'm hoping to do now that I have something that I'm excited about again. So let's see if we have anything here. Good morning. Good morning. Message held for review. I don't know. Okay, I don't know why that's okay. The Nurse Flipper, I'm not sure why that had an issue. I have a YouTube, Instagram, Posh name's the same. A couple of people shared a list. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is like, why not? Why not have everything in line? Why not make a broader reach? So I'm excited. I just am seeing Vad is Rad here. And hi, we haven't actually met yet. You are a person that is on my list to have for Reseller Momversation. So hopefully we can connect with each other soon. I've been watching some of your videos and just found out that you're a mom. So would love to connect with you offline and try to do that. Don't mean to put you on the spot, but I just happened to see you there. That's awesome. So weird. Okay. Sorry. I'm a little like verklempt about it. I don't know. I just I'm excited for it, but it's a big change. It's been my online identity in the selling world for almost 4 years. And, it's like if you had a kid and then you changed your kid's name. Is that what it's like? I guess it's kind of like, I don't know, maybe I'm just reading too much into it. But what if you had a kid for 4 years and then all of a sudden you just decided to change their name? Like, what if I just changed Gio's name to Schumacher? I don't know. So anyway, so let's go ahead and get into the story with the second announcement, because this, I think, is probably not the bigger of the news, but maybe more widely important to others than me changing my store name, because I guess really you guys don't care about that, but it's nice and it's exciting and we're a little community here and I hope you're excited for me. So the other thing is I didn't really know how to bring this up. I wasn't sure if I was going to bring this up. If you've watched my What Sold videos over the past couple of weeks, you'll know I kind of was really awkward about telling you that I made sales on Poshmark, but I wasn't saying how I made those sales. So I would go over my main closet, which then was Momro Boutique, which is now On My Rack, and showed those sales like I always do. How many sold, what sold fast, all of that stuff. But then I had a second area where I said, I have this other thing going on. It's kind of a secret right now. I may share, I may not. And now I'm ready to share. This is also a cause for stress and anxiety for me right now. My hands are a little shaky because I overanalyze everything a lot, and I watch what goes on in our community of resellers and specifically YouTubers that are resellers. And I just kind of watch and see what people do with their businesses, how they treat it, what the reaction is from the followers and the audience and the people that support those brands. And it kind of gives me cues as far as, that's something I'd like to do. That's something I don't want to do. That's something I'd like to do, but now that I see what happened with it, now maybe I'm a little more cautious about it. And so for quite some time, I wanted to figure out a way to diversify my business, but not necessarily add another stream of income, just really create a stream of income that could complement what I'm already doing, but at the same time, be less work. If you guys have watched me, you know that like reselling is a lot of work. It's a grind, and I don't necessarily love it for the fashion of it. I don't necessarily love it for I do enjoy thrifting. I do enjoy hunting and finding good deals, but I don't necessarily love this particular Lulu's dress where I'm like, it's cute, it's pretty. I'm not like, about it. I found it. I think it will sell. I bought it. It's more about the business of it. That's what I enjoy, the process and the business, and that's what I enjoy. And so I wanted to be able to come up with a complementary process or business that could run alongside my normal store, then Mom Row Boutique, now on my rack, that I could turn on and off, that I could experiment with, that I could see if I would maybe get out of regular reselling and move into this. And so what it is reseller boxes. We've seen a lot of people come and go with reseller boxes. Some people have had very successful reseller boxes. Some people haven't. Some people do them one way. Some people do them another way. But I can tell you that right around Christmas time, I set up an account. Now, this account I had already had, and it was already approved by Poshmark. So don't get me all crazy about oh, you're not allowed to have one. I pre-approved it with Poshmark. I set up an account. This was supposed to be for boutique items. It was supposed to be a separate closet that I was just going to sell boutique items. And that's not to say that in the future I wouldn't still do that. But I turned that account, instead of selling boutique items, I turned it into reseller boxes. And I started from complete scratch. Obviously, you guys don't know about it, so it's not like I used the Reseller Mom Show Instagram. I did not use the Reseller Mom Show YouTube. I did not tell anyone about it. It was completely fly under the radar. Let's just see what happens as just a random person selling reseller boxes. Can you be successful in selling reseller boxes without an audience, without a brand, without anything behind you? And in less than a month, I sold almost $2,000 worth of reseller boxes, which worked out to be about 80 boxes, because now it's still running my total. So I don't know what happened within this last month, but I started it at the end of December, and I was so excited. I enjoyed doing it. I had a lot of fun making the boxes. You should see my reseller room right now, because I have bins hidden with different categories of things so that I could just take a box and put in different things. I tried accommodating requests, and that went okay, but I do think in the future I will probably adapt and change it a little bit to where they're more preset boxes with certain categories and maybe some size things, because I don't want to be having 6 boxes to prepare in the morning and then I have to get Gio off to school and it's too rushy. I'd rather prep them in advance and just slap the label on them and have them ready to go. So anyway, I started this reseller box business. It's been going very well, and I've tested out a lot of different things with it. And I definitely think I would share those things. I mean, I still have more learning to do, and $2,000 may not be a ton of money to you, but to me, to not have to prep, take photos, and do all of these different things that go into this type of reselling, and to make someone else happy and hear that they, sold a dress that never sold for me, that they sold it in 15 minutes of getting the box and getting the amazing love notes and feedback that I've gotten has been great. And that makes me excited. And I want every person that buys these reseller boxes to feel like they got a great box. I have heard in doing this process so many horror stories of reseller, like so many. And it makes me so mad because I feel like I treat all of this, Poshmark, YouTube, everything, even though I speak very informally, I feel like I'm always a professional. Like we may talk very informally, but I'm always going to not try to screw anybody. I'm always going to try to bring you the best that I can. Like I'm always going to be as courteous as I can. I mean, every once in a while I get feisty, but like for the most part, I'm not out there to do bad business. I'm out there to do good business with good people. And it was just amazing the pouring in of notes that I would get back from people that said, I've been burned in the past. This is what I got before. Like, I really hope your box is good. Your love notes are good, but I don't trust it because I've had such bad experiences. And I really would love to get a source of reseller boxes. And like the need is out there, and people have been very nice and very honest with the poor experiences that they've had in the past. And I do think there are a lot of great reseller boxes out there. I've purchased a few, and it's funny, when I did purchase them, I had no intention of actually doing them myself at all. I don't even know where the idea came from. It just kind of popped in my head one day, like, oh, why don't you just try selling some reseller boxes and see what happens? So it's all very new, but it's exciting. It's another avenue that I can share with you. It's another, business that I feel would be great for me, because when we travel, I could potentially have reseller boxes prepared and ready to go, and then just negotiate with someone to slap the labels on them. And that's a way less investment of time and training and resources to keep your business going while you're traveling than having someone know how to deal with everything that there is to like ship for you or something when you're on vacation. So that's one of the driving reasons that I'm excited about it, because if my sister doesn't go on a vacation with us, I can have my VA send the labels to the Dymo like she has been remotely, which has been great. So my sister doesn't have to deal with that. I could give her a bunch of boxes that are set, like this is the plus size box, this is the whatever box, and all she has to do is slap the label on it and ship them out. Or I could get my old photographer that doesn't work with me anymore now in a photography capacity, but I know that I could trust her, and for a short term, she would potentially be interested in helping me, doing shipping. So that's very appealing to me. And there's a lot of other things. And like I said, I definitely want to do a lot of content on this specifically. I see the chat is going, so I definitely want to look at that. But I wanted to like focus and get all, because when I start getting shiny syndrome over there, I can't. But I'm excited. I want to know what your questions are. I want to know what you think about it. I'd love to hear more about your feedback. Like if you've bought reseller boxes in the past, obviously I'll share with you what that closet is so you know. But one of the reasons why I kept it hidden was because I was very afraid of what might happen to it once you match it with your audience. And it's not like I'm so big. I barely have 2,000 subscribers. I appreciate all of you, but it's not like I'm this major channel with like, all of this stuff going on. So I figure that it's more safe to tell you guys because like we're reseller moms. And this is kind of why I like keeping my channel this way and not really trying to be bigger. I mean, I do want to get bigger because I want the word out for reseller moms, but I want it. And I don't want to alienate anybody. I know that there are people here that are not moms, that are not women, and I appreciate you. And I do think that the content I give is valuable. I just frame it in a way that does speak to moms. But I think that because the general gist, most of the people that watch this channel are reseller moms, like we're busy and don't have time to hate on people and like say nasty things in comments and like tear down their brand. Like we're busy. We barely have time to like watch the video, like do any of this other stuff. So I feel like it's kind of more safe with you guys. And I really hope that that judgment is right and that I can continue this brand. I can pick it up and put it down when I have great stuff to share, ship them out to you. When I don't, put it on vacation mode until I get stuck, an inventory backup for it. And I think that, it's just exciting. And I am going to go to the chat. I just have one other thing that I want to, kind of bring up, which is it is possible to do it without an audience, because I did. And I think that's very encouraging for people, because I think a lot of people think in order to be successful on Poshmark and certain things, you do need to have like a YouTube channel and audience and all of this stuff. And I don't think that that's true. I think it's all in how you attack it. I think it's all in how you market it and present it, and the work that you put into it. And so I'm really happy that putting in that effort and work without the audience, and without the brand and without the following, proof of concept is that it is possible. So that's exciting. My goal with it is to make a box that I would want to get. So that is hard sometimes, because I don't always find as much good stuff as I'd like. But what I'm doing as far as breakdown, just so you guys know, is that like, I don't want you to think that I'm just giving my rejects, because I'm not. And I think that's what the stigma is with reseller boxes, and why there are so many out there, why so many people have had problems with them, is that you're a reseller. These things haven't sold or have been sitting in your closet, or you don't want to sell it anymore or whatever. And so you put it in a mystery box and hope to pawn it off on somebody else. And that's not what these reseller boxes are at all. What I have found is that, one, reselling is time consuming, and I don't want to do that much of it. So to me, it's almost more of a benefit to give you some of the good stuff, because I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to stand here and take pictures for forever. I don't want to pack everything up and have it sit in my storage unit. I don't want to pay my virtual assistant to list everything. Sometimes you find a lot of stuff and you just want to make some money off of it. Like, I'm not trying to be greedy. I just want to keep things moving. So I am more willing to give away the quote unquote good stuff in a reseller box than keep it for myself, because I will tell you, I have a closet full of some good stuff. I've sat for forever. Some people say they can't sell Anthropology. Some people say they can't sell Free People. Some people say they can't sell St. John. Like, we all have those brands that we're told are good, and we have them, and then they don't sell for us. Now, granted, that could be because we didn't pick up the right piece. It's an older piece. You're not keywording it correctly. Whatever, you didn't give it enough time. I mean, there's a million reasons why. But if you guys know anything about me, you know that, like, I just want to flip stuff quickly. I'm not looking to squeeze every drop out of it and sit on it for forever. I like the activity of a quick flip. I like a fast selling store. And so for me, if I could bring home 50 items from the bins and keep 10 for myself, and I'll tell you why I keep certain ones and why I don't, and then ship 40 out in reseller boxes, and those reseller boxes sell in 2 or 3 days, that's awesome. Like, that's okay with me. I've worked it out and worked out my pricing model where I feel like comfortable with what I have. And if I feel like demand ever gets too much for me, I may raise the price, because I do think it's a good value right now. So what I'm doing is a reseller box of at least 6 items, or 5 pounds max of clothing for $35. I have a plus size box. I have a surprise me box of women's, and I have a tops only box. And those are the primary ones. I do have like a flaw box that I do. I have a boutique box that I do, and I have a few men's boxes that I'm experimenting with. And I will probably experiment with more in the future. But I think that I'm giving in these boxes great stuff, because that's what I would want to see. And my reputation is very important to me. And so I want to give that. And that's why I decided to kind of share it, now that I've kind of figured it out and feel comfortable and confident in it. And I will share, about how I do it. So that content is coming, and then I'll share more about it if you would like to get one. And as far as the breakdown of what goes in them versus what I keep, it's really about weight, because sometimes I find a great piece and it's just too heavy to include in a mystery box where you're focusing on 6 items, 5 pounds. So I could find a really nice pair of jeans, and if it's the right pair of jeans, I will include it, but then everything else has to be light. So I have like a bin of like heavy stuff that will go in a box, but it has to be matched with lots of other light things. I have a bin of like the cream of the crop, anthropology free people that everybody's asking for, the Madewell, all of that. People are asking for those. I guess I should say not cream of the crop, the highly requested bin. And so I try to put at least 1 or 2 items from the highly requested bin in each box. And those are ones where, yeah, I could sell them myself, or I could get rid of it right now to you and I can make money and you can make money off of the same item. And I'm cool with that. Then I have a bin that's like just your basic bread and butter stuff, but I don't mean bread and butter like bad. I mean bread and butter that would go in a box that's good. Like I say, check the love notes. They have been going, well, I'm not doing it justice right now and explaining it, but I guess I should say like this dress, I probably wouldn't put in a reseller box because it's long and it's maxi and it's going to be too heavy in comparison to get all the rest of the items in. Same with like plus size too. Certain items for plus size can't go in a box. I never include anything from Walmart, nothing from Target, nothing from Kohl's. So it's always going to be, a good popular mall brand or better. There's always going to be at least one item that is brand new with the tags. So that's always something that can be expected. And that is also kind of an interesting challenge too, because sometimes you have more new with tags things, sometimes you don't. And so that's why I like it, because I can put the gas on and take the gas off based on the supply that I have. And so that way I can say, listen, this is not my sole thing. Maybe it will be someday. But I'm not holding back all the good stuff for myself, because then I wouldn't have a good reputation of selling reseller boxes. So I'm balancing them both, and I'm really excited for both of them. So now I'm going to look at the chat and see what the heck everybody says. Let's see what we say. Yes, it was hard picking a name, but it was just something about my business name that is personal to me. I'm super thrifty. I'm a mom of 4. Yep, thrifty mom Chloe. Perfect. There you go. I like that. Awesome. That is rad. Thank you. I love how everybody is Reseller Mom Real Estate. That's the name of your Burgundy Sells, Reseller Mom Real Estate. I'm confused what that is. Good morning. Awesome. Thank you guys. I appreciate the support. I think you guys might just be like having a check, because I'm like trying to follow it. I should get something. Yes, there's definitely a need. Congrats on your success so far. Thank you. Hey, hi, Sarah Styles. No, well, you missed 2 things. One, I rebranded my store. So it used to be Mom Roar Boutique, and now it's on my rack. So that's exciting. And then the second thing is that I started a reseller box business, and I've been working that on the side without telling anybody for a little while. And now I'm just starting to share that. So for those that came in a little bit later, that's what's going on. Thank you so much again for all the emojis and the support. I appreciate it. Yeah, see, I haven't found an amazing reseller box yet. I've only purchased 2 and they weren't the best. Brittany Brands, tell me a little bit more about that. Like, because here's the thing. Everybody's definition of what a reseller box is that's good or bad is going to be different, because we all sell different things. We all have different thresholds for what we can normally find, what's a higher end item to us, what sells well. Like, it's a very subjective thing. I've tried really hard to appeal to the general consensus of like good stuff. Hold on, somebody is like, I don't know what happened there. I'm getting a delivery from Sam's Club. They're on the way, apparently. So I would love to know more about what you think is good, bad, what wasn't the best about some of them. I've been trying to ask my customers about that as they disclose to me their prior experiences, because I feel like it does range. What I think is a great box is what I'm going to give. That may or may not be what you think is a great box. And I'm okay with that. Like, you'll order from me, You won't like it, you won't order again. But I can tell you that I've had several people that are like over the moon about it and have reordered several times. I think I have a girl in her 4th box already, and this is less than a month. Well, Christmas time. So we're just about a month into it. So that's been fantastic. Let's see. Thank you, Thrifty Mom. Yes, it's exciting, and I am concerned about sourcing because I've said before, like, I don't always find the best stuff. And so I thought about it, and if I give away my best stuff, then what am I going to sell? But here's the thing. Because of the weight issue, because you can only fit so many items in a box, because you can only fit so many items in a 5-pound box, there's plenty for me to sell because there's tons of stuff that can't go in a box that's valuable, namely your outerwear, your maxi things, just like a bigger sweater, a bigger, chunkier type of thing. Like, they're just not going to go in a box. So, it's okay if the higher end items or the more popular items go in a box, because I'm still going to have value in the things that are big, like outerwear. When I do my airport lost luggage, I get lots of outerwear. And so that's going to be plenty of great opportunity for me. When I go to the bins, I find all kinds of things. They just may not always be, the hot Poshmark brand to the stars. So when I have those are going in, and every box is getting a variety of those things. You're not going to get a box full of Free People. That's not going to happen. And I'm not promoting it as such. I'm promoting it as these are the types of brands that are included. Again, I'll share with you what it is and all of that. So it's a variety box, and it gives you a little bit of everything. And I think for those that have trouble sourcing or finding particular brands or whatever, or you have an ability or a disability where you can't go source, or you're a mom, you can't go source, like, it's a nice extra. And so you're less picky about certain brands, because I'm not saying that you're less picky in that what you want to put in your store, but I think we're more understanding. If I didn't have to go pack up the kids and source, and it came to me and it was a reasonable price and I can make money off of it, I'm going to be less crazy about it than someone who has all the time in the world to go and source and only picks up new with tags, runway, fashion or whatever. So I think everything has to be put into context. I think right now, sourcing the way that I am to the bins a certain amount of times, getting the airport lost luggage, going to different varieties of sales that I go to and clearances, I'm doing okay. We'll see what happens with the demand now that I've put this out there. But again, I have a great community, but I have a small community. And so I'm not thinking that, like, oh my God, I'm going to sell 100 boxes today. It'll be okay, I'm sure. And the good thing about it is I can always put pause on it. I can always say the store's on vacation. I could always put a particular box not for sale. If I don't have enough plus size items, the plus size box goes not for sale until I have it again. So that's what's exciting about it. Love a good mystery box. Yay, grateful. Yeah, well, and you did that, the box swap and stuff like that, which was fun. So I watched those. Those were awesome. And I bought some boxes, and also total duds. There's always risk. And that's the thing. I mean, it's exciting in that it's a risk, but when you're putting out your hard-earned money, and you're expecting to get good inventory, when the risk goes bad, it's bad. And you learn your lesson, and maybe I'll do some cool content on how to buy a mystery box, what you should be asking, things like that, so that you can maybe insulate yourself a little bit from some of the bad boxes out there. But I can only speak for what I'm doing and what I've heard from others so far. Perfect balance. Got a lot of good chit chat going on here. Good. I'm going to just kind of skip over some of that because I hate watching lives when people are just like with their crazy eyes looking at the chat. Now I'm one of those crazy eyes people. Sorry. But there was a lot, and I talked for so long. Yeah. Okay. I think I'm caught up. So yes, it's exciting. I appreciate the support. If you definitely want to check one out, I would love that. If you want to ask me questions about it before you check it out, it wouldn't bother me. I'm, like I said, I am really trying to get away from requests because I found that challenging. Because it was the requests for a lot of the same things. Also with size, like I might have Madewell, but I may not have extra small. I might only have Madewell and a large. So do I give you the large Madewell or do I give you extra small something else? Like it was just a lot of that. And this business model for me is going to be a streamlined, automated thing. It's going to be good. And I want it to be valuable for people and I want it to be valuable for me. And so I don't want it to be taking over my life. So that's, hold on. Okay. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. So I will tell you that, let me pull it up so that you can see. So it was called a different name, which was what I had set up the second closet to be initially for the wholesale and the boutique. And then I started selling the reseller boxes under it. And today, when I did the rebrand of Mom Roar Boutique to On My Rack, I also rebranded this store so that now everything is the Reseller Mom Show as far as things to resellers. So you'll see here, the back is not branded. It's just the boxes. And then here, the little circle, it's a 5-star, like for the feedback, 5-star reseller inventory box. And I did that specifically so that random people, they're not going to know what the Reseller Mom Show is. But if they see that and they read it, it says reseller inventory box, they may click on it. So that was a specific, oh, my Instacart order will be arriving shortly. But the username is at Reseller Mom Show. And that way, everything that is B2B, you and me as resellers, business to business, is all under the umbrella of the Reseller Mom Show. Unfortunately, okay. All right. Hold on one second. Sorry, this is so unprofessional. Hold on. I'm here. Ma, go to the door. I think the order is here. Go to the door. I think the Sam's Club order is here. Sorry. Oh my God, it's like the worst. I scheduled it for 12 to 1. And this is what happens. They come early and it's like, but I didn't tell you to come early. And now you're mad that I'm not answering the door. Like, no, because I'm on YouTube right now. Anyway, sorry. Like first world problems that you get your groceries delivered and your mom is answering your door right now. God help me. So basically, it's everything that is business to business, everything that is for resellers from me as a reseller is under the Reseller Mom Show. I couldn't do the Reseller Mom Show because it's too many letters for Poshmark. If you don't know, you can only get 15 characters. So Reseller Mom Show is Poshmark B2B, me to you. Then, I have the Etsy store, I have the YouTube channel, I have the Instagram. So all of that now is related to Reseller Mom Show. And then anything that is me to customers is going to be On My Rack. And so that way, instead of having like all these brands running around and all of these different things, I can just streamline with 2 brands and 2 lines of communication. From me to a customer is On My Rack, and from me to resellers is the Reseller Mom Show. And I would highly recommend that thought process to anyone that is looking to have like a reseller brand and then also a consumer brand. And I also think that they shouldn't mix. I know a lot of people mix them and it's worked for them. I don't think it would work for me. I like knowing who I'm talking to and what I'm talking about separately. I think some great examples are out there. Empty Hanger, the Deal Queen. There's lots, that talk to resellers and sell stuff to people at the same time. But for me, I just felt very strongly about having 2 separate types of brands with 2 separate types of purposes. So do the items in the reseller box come from your sourcing, like thrifting, sales, etc., or do you put wholesale items in there too? So at this time, I've done very limited wholesale. I've purchased boutique items, which are no-name brands specifically to resell from manufacturers. And so I do have boutique items on my rack store. And there are some styles that I just only have a few left, and I'm trying to condense my storage unit and the shelves that I use. So I do have like a box that's a mystery box for the reseller boxes that are of boutique items. So that's a crossover, and that would be boutique wholesale no-name items. Then I have purchased wholesale liquidation, like Macy's liquidation, those kinds of brands. Some of those may be in here because they're new with tags, but not specifically. The box is not specifically wholesale. So most of it is pre-owned items from thrifting, from the bins, from my local closet clearouts, from garage sales, your typical stuff, from my airport lost luggage hauls and auctions that I do, things like that. And like I said, the reseller box itself is meant for a reseller. It's not meant to be a mystery box for you type of thing. It's meant to be resold. So it's a variety box, and it will have at least one new with tags item. It will never have any Kohl's brands, no Walmart brands, no Target brands, and it will have a variety of other brand items. And I have a list of the brands included in the listing so that you can see. They're just suggestions. They're not exact everything. Sometimes there are other brands thrown in. But like I said, the goal, and it's hard because a mystery box or a reseller inventory box, if I wanted to tell you everything that was in it, it wouldn't be a mystery reseller box. And if I wanted to tell you everything was in it and take pictures of everything that was in it, I would have just sold it myself. So it is a business model to save time and save resources and save effort and energy to do it this way. With that is a trade-off. And so the person gets, great items at a, higher cost than they would if they thrifted it themselves, because I'm doing the service of the thrifting and the shipping it to them. So I think, there's a content gold mine here because a reseller box is not necessarily meant as a sourcing option for every business model. So if you're a business and you source at the bins, perhaps a reseller box isn't for you, because that's a huge jump in price gap for possibly the same things. And depending on the bins that you have, you don't know what the comparison is going to be between what you can find yourself for pennies and what is going to be sent in a reseller box, whether it's mine or somebody else's. But I do think that reseller boxes are meant for certain kinds of people, for certain kinds of business models, and certain kinds of situations, for sure. Over the summer, mom can't get out to source. Area where you source is rural and you don't find a lot of commonly, selling items, or you just want to start adding some different kinds of items into your mix of things that you normally sell. You want to try out some new brands. That you're going to be on vacation and you want to come back to inventory sitting at your door, which is what I used to do, like when I ordered ThredUp rescue boxes. So there's just a lot of reasons why a reseller box could be great for you or could not be. And I don't try to be all things to all people when it comes to these reseller boxes. I'm going to give what I think is a great box, and I hope you like it too. And that's all I can do. And like I said, that's one of the reasons why I was very concerned about sharing it, because I was afraid to leave myself open to you don't know what. But I'm confident in what I'm doing. I'm happy with what I'm doing. And if I did it once, I could do it again. And so it doesn't work out this time, I'll do it again some other time. That's what I find interesting, is kind of starting from scratch and seeing what I can come up with. And I feel like doing, and then I did want to show, let's actually pull up the Posh stats. I'm not even a Poshmark ambassador yet because there's so few listings. So I have 10 available listings. Now it says it's a total value of $18,450, but that's because I would have like 36 boxes listed, so if all 36 of them sold, it would tally up to a high value. But it's not like I actually have 36 boxes here ready and made. So I just have the multiple quantity listing available, but I've sold 86 boxes. 86 boxes for a total, I don't know if you can see that, total of $2,007.30, 1 day average ship time, total rating of 4.9 boxes, 4.9 stars. I did have a few people that didn't like them. And, that's okay. If you sell 86 of something, somebody isn't going to like it. And I'm okay with that. I have a total of 81 ratings out of 86 boxes sold, which I think is crazy because on my other one, on my consumer accounts, it's about a little over 50% being rated. But I think now they're taking more steps to do it. And again, these are resellers. And so they're buying it coming from a reselling seller perspective. And so they want to give you the rating and all of that. So like I said, there's probably been, I don't think it gives, it does give me a breakdown. I've had 78 5 stars out of 86. And then the rest are whatever. No 0 stars. I've had 2 1s, 1 2-star, 1 3-star, and 1 4-star. So I'm not going to complain about that. I feel like that's pretty good. And I think that is due to me not taking my foot off the gas when I don't have great stuff. I did send out a few boxes that I was not 100% proud of, and I got dinged on it. And so now I've really learned that I'm not going to send a box unless I'm 100% happy with it. But again, what I think is great and what you think is great may be completely different things. So if you want to ask me something about it, you're more than welcome to. Or if you don't ever want to purchase one, that's okay too. Let's see. I love real life. Yeah. Also, do you have any recommendations for shipping large jackets like leather or thicker materials? Would you throw them in a box or try to stuff them in a large mailer? Well, now that I do the reseller boxes, I have more boxes on hand than I've ever had. I usually would only keep a handful of the self-seal, like 1092 or 1095 or 1097 boxes. And so even for those, some thicker things would not fit in them. What I do is I don't have one right here that's easy to grab. But when you order from the post office, your supplies, I order padded flat rates quite often. And if you order a higher amount of them, but not too high, they'll send it to you in a big white poly mailer, like a big thick one. Like this. Big. Not the normal size that they just put the Tyvek in, like a big one. And I save those. I cut them nicely and I save them. And that's what I put anything that doesn't fit in a box that is big. And so I will sometimes double layer it, but I put thicker, bigger things in those so I don't have to buy anything else. I just save those from the post office. And that's worked out really well. It's worked for large purses that don't fit in a box and a bigger jacket type thing. I've sold some like ski jackets and stuff like that. And that's what I use for that type of thing. So hopefully that helps. Because even a large mailing box from, like even these large mailing boxes are not that large when you're trying to stuff a coat in there. Like they're not that big. So this is also part of the branding. It was called something else that had an Italian theme. So this is one of the men's boxes. So I did like labels, which I have them available if you want labels like this for yourself. They're available for purchase in the Etsy store. And then like I try to do it like that. So I've got to change my card. But I try to bundle it nicely and have everything folded. Now I can't tell you that you don't need to steam it or that you're not going to need to, do some prep work to it. But I try to have it nicely packaged. So, and I just got stamped. Where is it? I'm really excited about these stamps. I got them on Etsy. So it's a thank you. So I can just stamp the outside of the box. I tested it out with labels first, but that's going to get expensive. So I bought 2 of these and it was like $96 for both of them. This was like a $40 stamp, but you get to use it over and over again and think of how many labels you would get for $40. Not that many. So Plus, here's one of those things. I think I said this on Instagram at one point. I love stamping things. And when I was little, I used to like pretend to stamp stuff, and like that was the imagination play or whatever. Like, I can't tell you how exciting it is to stamp these boxes. It brings me great joy. So I may actually stamp the Tyveks that I send out like my on my rack stuff with. And now that I've tested out what it's like to have a stamp, I may actually invest in a branded stamp for on my rack. So I can always do a video on that if you're interested or contemplating that. But I think this is about the time where I should wrap it up. We're coming up to about an hour here. I see some people dropping off. If you're still here, thank you so much for watching and joining me. I appreciate it. Please go ahead and like this video on the way out. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. I'm really trying to make sure that I say that because I've been looking at the stats, and it's so interesting how many people watch the videos but are not subscribed. And you know, it's okay, not everybody's going to dig me, like that's fine. But if you are and you're watching the videos, just go ahead and subscribe. Like, let's commit to each other, because I show up regularly for you guys. So show up regularly for me by subscribing. Let's see. Wow, didn't realize stamps are so expensive. Well, there are smaller stamps, but I wanted a big, like to go on the side of a large box. I was dealing with like, this is the size of like a shipping label. It's like 3x4 maybe. And so I would print the labels from a template of shipping labels and have them. I don't want to move everything, but so that's kind of the size I was looking for, is a similar size stamp to the label that I was using. And I did that specifically with labels just so I could get a feel for like, did I like this? What was, you know, do I want to commit to this without actually committing to it? So then once I was like pretty good and I'm like, okay, I'm going to go forward with this, then I invested in the stamps. But again, the stamps are just a nice reusable thing that you can just stamp them out all day. Take care all. Have a great day, everyone. Okay, awesome. Thank you so much, everyone, again, for watching. I do appreciate it. Like this video on the way out. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. If you have any other comments or questions, find me on Instagram at The Reseller Mom Show. Thank you so much for being here. I do appreciate it, and for all of the support. Take care, everyone. Bye.